how's everyone doing tonight? Good? Good? Everyone's had a good day? Awesome. Okay, so our poets here tonight are very excited to be here, and they're very nervous. Some is going to be a first time. Some of them have been here in the past, so it's a good experience for everyone. So I'd like to welcome you to our annual Poetry Award site. My name is Trisha Toe, and I'm the branch librarian at the Everett Public Libraries. This is my second year coordinating this poetry contest with the help of our director, Stacy DeBoli, who is not here today, but she has done this for many years with the youth of Everett. So thank you, Mrs. DeBoli, for giving me another opportunity to be a part of this fun and exciting process. Most importantly, I get to be with you here today to congratulate the amazing poets of Everett. I'd like to thank quite a few people for their dedication and their contribution to this event. So first, thank you to Mrs. Stacy DeBoli for beginning this annual poetry contest. It's a great experience for all the students to get to participate in. And so thank you for making this event possible. So thank you to the Friends of the Everett Public Libraries for giving the youth of Everett a chance to showcase their talent, because you all are so talented and your poems are so great. We are the first library to offer cash prizes for this awesome event too. So some of you actually get to walk away with the cashes today. So thank you to the Library Board of Trustees for ensuring us our great libraries for wonderful programs. And thank you to all the schools, students, and teachers, specifically from the Everett Public Schools, Pioneer Charter School of Science, Pope John High School, and St. Anthony School. This wouldn't have been possible without all of your participation. Thank you to Stop and Shop in Everett for providing us the wonderful refreshments and the food every single year. So as you notice in the back coming in, there's a bunch of food and as well as water, so please help yourselves after the event. And thank you to ECTV for coming out tonight to be a part of this event. So that's Matt in the back. Hi, Matt. This will be ready to air on the Everett channel soon, right? I'd also like to express my gratitude to our judges, Mrs. Rebecca Kennedy, who is an associate professor of English at LaSalle College. She wasn't able to make it here tonight, unfortunately. Mr. Ben Francavilla, who is a middle school teacher at the Summer G. Whittier School, he was also unable to make it here tonight, but he wishes you all good luck, and he was he felt very fortunate to be reading the special words that you submitted. Let's see. So they've been our judges for a very long time. They know the ins and outs of this process. So I would like to thank them for their time this year, even though they're not here today. So thank you to our new judges, Mr. Brian Panarisi, who is a science teacher at the Parlin School, and Mr. James Corielli, who's an English teacher at the Pope John High School, and Miss Stephanie Gertz, who is an English teacher at the Everett High School. Thank you for all of your commitment and your precious time spent carefully selecting the poems this year. Every single year we receive a huge amount of wonderful pieces. We get about 300 or 400 poems just from you all, and it's very special that you are selected to be here today. So it was very difficult. Again, we are grateful for your participation and your significant contribution. Let's give a round of applause to all of our judges. And most importantly, and I'm really emphasizing this, I'd like to say a big thank you to all the students who are here tonight. I look forward to reading and hearing your poems every year. And as poet Dylan Thomas once said, a good poem is a contribution to reality. The world is never the same once a good poem has been added to it. A good poem helps to change the shape of our universe, helps to extend everyone's knowledge of himself and the world around him. So I thank you for sharing the special gifts of your words tonight. This event would not be possible without you. So let's give a round of applause to our talented poets all in the front rows. You should all be very proud of yourselves. So at this time, I'm going to call up Mr. Brian Panarisi to speak a few words before our middle school poetry readings.
Hello, everyone. It's good to see all the faces behind all the great poetry that I got to read through during my judging. So one thing I noticed about a lot of the poems was how deep and emotional a lot of them were. And I find that art and poetry, of course, is a great way for someone to express themselves and say things that they wouldn't normally be able to say to other people, which made choosing these poems very difficult because they were all very emotional and very personal. Essentially, my process for choosing a poem was just I would read through them all. I'd set aside the ones that I thought were the most emotional, the most impactful, and then I would go through that pile and keep selecting the ones that I thought were the most emotional until I reached the last 10 or so, and then we got together and we chose which ones we thought were the best out of those. And it was a great experience to be able to read through them and see what's going on the other side of the classroom, what's going on with the students in their everyday lives. And that was a really great experience. Thank you.
So thank you, Mr. Panarisi. So now we will begin our middle school poem readings. So the first person I'd like to call up is Paula, Daniela, Romeo, Ezpinosa.
My poem's name is The Things That My Dog Loves to Do. She will be so happy when she will see me. My dog was funny and happy all the time, even when we'll be close to bedtime. She liked to go to the park with me. My dog was color black and white, and she never was afraid. I enjoyed her company too. She loved watching movies with me. She loved going out, and she never tried to play. She spent a lot of time outside. She was curious in every single way, until one sad day, she went outside to play. It was a windy and gray day. It all went dark and she got hit at the park. Thank you.
Okay, so right now I'd like to welcome up Aguirre, who is not here. So if she happens to come in, then we can just kind of squeeze her in after, okay? So Walter Antonio Aguirre Jimenez.
Clay, we are all equal, said everyone that has talked to me. If we are all equal, why do we treat each other in such different ways? It is because we are all molded in different ways, as if we were clay. We all have our different molders. They can be in the right or in the wrong. But the clay isn't to blame. The molders have really made them that shape. That's why we treat each other with such hate. But for me, some molders are great. I'm happy with my molders. That's why I call them mi mamá y mi padre. They shape me to who I am today. And I'm writing this to everyone to tell you why people are this way.
So the next person I'd like to welcome up is Edwin Sorto Rosales.
The final thought. The thought dwelled on you for a long time. It constantly grew more painful and worse. It initially began as isolation since you had no friends. You stopped going to work for that reason. You were home all day and all night. You already began taking pills and becoming an insomniac. It's been 2 weeks and you're still home. You stare at the rope and the knives. This is the easy way out. You then become an alcoholic. The depression takes over. You're a mess of a man. I don't want to live in this world anymore. You repeat this in your head over and over, but suddenly it comes to you. Why did you come into this world? You want to be the best person that you can possibly be. You figure your purpose for being in this world. You wouldn't want this heavy pain to pass on to your family. Although life is tough and challenging, you have to somehow pass through those obstacles. You go to your parents and your family, tearing up and thanking them for everything they've done for you. Your skin isn't paper, so don't cut it. Your face isn't a mask, so don't hide it. And your life isn't a movie, so don't end it. Thank you.
So the next poet going to come up is Tracy Pham.
The title of my poem is My Shadows. Behind me were my shadows, each day I would see them. Although I tried to follow them, they in return just follow me. Behind me were my shadow, following me here and there as I tag along a day like a tail. I went to my mom to show her, then realized she has one too. I had Behind me were my shadows. I'm not the only one who has them, but I'm glad to have them there when I'm all alone. Even my fellow friends agree. I had fun today with my shadows, but it's time to say goodbye as they slowly disappear. They never leave my side but hide in a blank space. But I know tomorrow they'll reappear. Thank you.
Okay, so the next poet to come up is Aiden Hazel.
The title of my poem is The Tree. I didn't know why it looked odd, but to me, it just looked like a fraud, a fake. I would sit under the tree and have its colorful leaves cover me, and then it would send me to a world without people on the face of the earth. It looked odd. Without buildings and pollution, it looked as blue as the bluest parts of the ocean. The floor green and the sky blue, it looked different than the world I knew. When I were to get up, it would send me back to the world I did know, with buildings and trash, with what humans did. Now I understand what the tree sees. They've been here longer than us and know how it's been on this planet, before war and pollution. The world, our world, looked unimaginable compared to now. Do you understand now what we've done? But we can change. We are human after all.
Okay, so the next poet is Nyla Nguyen.
My title is Were We Ever Best Friends? We've been best friends since we were 3. We always helped each other out with anything we needed help on. He's older than me and makes fun of my height. He's easy to talk to when I have anxiety or depression or when I'm lonely. We tell each other all of our secrets. The thing is, I didn't tell him 2 particular secrets. One is I like him, and the other is the queenka of the school hurts me. He's smart, kind, and warm-hearted, tall, handsome, and listens to anything I say. He would always be like a brother to me. I know, it's weird because I like him. Back to present day. He's dating the queenka of the school. And I know, she hurts me every day at school. It's been weeks since they dated. He's changed. He wasn't that nice type of guy anymore. He now also hurts me and makes me look like a fool. And I'm alone. It breaks my heart, but it feels like he cares for me. He never talks to me, and I don't talk to him. One day, the queenka, her minions, and him were pushing me, kicking me, and calling me things. Disgusting. No wonder why you're all alone, he said. That made my heart stop. I can't believe he said that. I can't believe I liked you. I can't believe you left me for the girl that's been bullying me, hurting me for months. His eyes opened wide, staring at me. Me liking you was a mistake, I said. You hurt me. Were we even best friends? Or was it all a joke? I stared at him straight in the eyes. Nothing. I walked away with tears. Wait, he yelled, acting like I didn't hear. I love you, he yelled. A secret I didn't know about him. I stopped. Well, you're too late, I said. But I just kept walking away. I knew he still cared about me. Thank you.
And so the next poet to come up is Lillian Odiar.
Maya, don't go to that party. Maya, he's not good enough for you. The words her mother said will always be in her head. The words her mother said she'll never forget. Her mind took a sword and slaughtered her heart's opinion. Music was pounding, people were jumping, shots were flying. 1, 2, 3. Mom, come pick us up. 1, 2, 3. Babe, stop. They both were drunk. She told him to stop. She looked up at the stars. She saw shattered glass with people flown out the other car. Her boyfriend hanging on to his precious life. She broke her arm, stitches all over her body as if she got stabbed 100 times by a knife. Maya, don't go to that party. Maya, he's not good enough for you. Maya, your mom got hit by your car. Maya, Maya, Maya.
And next poet to come up is Ilias Beckhofer.
Hopeless. Putrid, gut-wrenching, a blinded view, reads out despair, always there, like the mother I never had. Hope is a joke, an unfulfilling want, refreshing, retrying, no conclusion in sight. Words come out, stumbling out of my mouth. Help me, but indeed, nobody cares. Their ears naturally help ignore these fleas. A rag as in infomercials, dirty scum kicked alongside. helpless like a fly, dying rapidly by the second, a never-ending cycle. Skyscrapers look condescending, leering above, a symbol of the wealthy, ungrateful businessmen gazing at these counterparts, true polar opposites blacklisted from society, unworthy of keeping a penny, being lent a hand, nothing to help this poor beaten man. Seems like litter to me, they all say, as if I were another trash lump in the dump, filled with remains of what I used to be. Mere ashes of burnt beliefs, stretching back years and years. To be continued, I'm already concluded. Destiny is set at birth, doesn't change because of desires. Dreams used to reach the sky, a grin would have been stretching from the moon and back. A jolly old lad, your average happy Joe, but that came to a screeching halt, like a stoplight. When depression merges alongside, like a car crash and boom, kills you from the inside. Your soul enclosed in the car compacts in a snap, a quick and scary attack. A million tries to re-begin, to be a new man, but being a dustpan doesn't convince the companies. Sleeping with the rats can only end up on my resume. Now hiring brings tears in my eyes, tears larger than my hopes. Crying alone, but the bustling streets and overwhelming success can tune it out. The red ooze, spilling like magma, bursting out of the floor, creating a delta. Not pure, polluted with unlucky curses. Luck which used to have an extensive, hopeful meaning, used to help, but now it intertwines and defines directly as useless, useless, useless. A trash bag, a piece of chewed gum, enjoyed by one, but when it's done, eternally forgotten. Thank you.
So let's give a round of applause for all the middle school poets. Those were amazing. I am really overjoyed to be able to hear your words tonight. So now we're going to welcome up Mr. James Corielli for a few words.
Thank you. My name is Jim Corielli, and I teach 12th grade English at Pope John High School, right down the street in Broadway, and this is my 12th year at Pope John. And I also moderate the school paper, and I moderate our poetry club. Overall, I've had 19 years in education, and I'm honored to be asked to be one of the judges for this year's poetry contest. And I've been asked to say a few words about the process that I used. So the packet of poems arrived at Pope John in my mailbox, and I took them home. I was excited, and what I focused most on was the way each of the young writers used language to convey their ideas. The words they chose, the images they brought to life, the metaphors that they used. I evaluated each piece with an eye toward the skillful presentation of ideas, feelings, and images through the use of words. When I conferred online with my fellow judges, we found that we were in near complete agreement on the top three, which as a new judge in the group made me feel like I must have done something right. We also had many of the same choices among the remainder of our top 10s. The judging of artistic endeavors is, of course, a subjective pursuit. This contest gives us the opportunity to recognize the young people in our community who are willing to take that step of picking up a pen or pencil, or of sitting down before a keyboard and creating something with words. When you do so, you are, of course, expressing your thoughts and feelings, but you are also continuing a creative pursuit that dates back thousands of years. You're joining Shakespeare, Walt Whitman, Emily Dickinson, Maya Angelou, and all great poets who had the courage and took that step. Our culture and our civilization depends on poets to record the world around them and to show us the way into the future. You are all poets, and tonight we recognize that and encourage you to keep creating. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Corielli. Now I'm going to welcome Ms. Stephanie Gertz up here to speak a few words.
So I'm Stephanie Gertz. I'm a freshman English teacher at Everett High School, so any of my middle schoolers, you might find me in a couple years. So this is my first year teaching in Everett, but I'm from the city, and I was part of this poetry contest myself when I was a sophomore in high school, so I sat exactly where you were sitting today. When I was asked to be a judge, I had no idea what to expect from poems because I have read a lot of high schoolers' writing, and it is something else. But to show the way that you express your raw emotion in a way that was so beautiful to read, I found myself overwhelmed with emotion. So I came up with a process. Pile here for the poems that I felt should move on, a pile here for the ones that I felt maybe needed more work. By the end of my process, this pile was 0 and this pile was all of them. To the young poets out there, I want to encourage you to never stop writing. When you write, just let it out, go back, fix it, let it out, go back, fix it. Write until your hand falls off, and when that happens, learn to use the other hand. Judging, as he said before, we ended up having the same top 10, so it was very interesting as a new judge to understand that my feelings towards the poems were the same as the other ones, and I knew I'd been on the right track. So, again, keep writing, don't stop. And to all the family and friends that are here tonight to support the young poets, I applaud you as well, because without your support, the poets wouldn't be here tonight, so thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gertz. At this time, we will begin our high school poetry reading. So the first to come up is Brooke-lyn Skane.
My poem's name is Shadow World. A shadow is a figure in darkness, comes out when the light hits, but when they want to stay hidden, go deeper and dark, until they disappear. Disappearing is what I try to do, but fail. I would love to become a shadow, to disappear from the real world, to go to a fantasy world in life. A fantasy world is a real world to me. Fantasy is a love of mine. Due to fantasy, I'm a writer. Writing is a passion, not something you have to do. Thanks.
Okay, so the next poet to come up is Cleucilayne Soares.
My poem is called Take Me Back. It's only been a couple of days, and nothing has been the same. She continues to smoke until her lungs are so full, she can feel them tightening behind her ribs. Every thought is infested, every moment is taken up by her one and only love. Where her heart was fueled by passion, it was ripped apart by misery. Thank you.
And the next poet to come up is Trinity Montina.
My poem is called Death is a Friend. I should have spoken when the enemies took you away. The words trapped in my heart, you already broken. I had a second chance, yet I looked away. Unshed tears glazed over my eyes, I must obey. Our pains formed a river in which we drowned. I had lost you due to my silence, my mind ruined. The unspoken words were weights on my shoulders. We were two lost souls, but one found her way into heaven. The other stayed behind, victimized by German adversaries. Sad and forgotten, the death march began. There were those who were not strong enough to carry the pain. The same silence forced me to my knees. I was ready to accept my death, to be reunited once more. Knives digged at my feet. No longer concerned with surviving, weak and tired, death knocked at my door. I welcomed it with open arms, ready to stop the aching. Finally, a peace of mind. My broken body gets to rest. The gas chambers is not an enemy. It shall set me free, together again with my family. Surrounded by human skeletons, what a strange way to die. I cannot keep on going, my flesh shattered by the world. Why won't they kill me? They will never understand. Death is a friend that has come to save me from life. It is the greatest blessing that I shall ever receive, the one promise that God has kept to me. Thank you.
So the next poet to come up is Francesca Mirthil. She'll be reading 2 poems for us.
Red pickup truck. One day, an angel picked me up in a red pickup truck. Cruised down 95 with our hair blowing in the wind, laughed at the concept of humanity, and drank water from cracked glass containers. told me that one man's pride was an entire society's downfall and that life was nothing more than imperfect moments. Ran out of fuel, so we stopped and filled up on the ignorance of humanity. Woke up and realized that none of this was real. That the angel in the red pickup truck was nothing more than a gold fleck of my unreliable imagination, proving why the heart of a poet is not to be trusted. We are divine beings with ordinary bodies. One day, I daydreamed of an angel who picked me up in a red pickup truck. It was all in my head, but I wrote, so it was. Dear little black girl, don't base your value on reviews from grapes that grow off vines of maliciousness. Dark skin doesn't equate to a dark mind. Your words are uncolored, an ode to your personality. The pigmentation of your lips do not taint the beautiful garden of intellectuality that you struggled to cultivate. Dear little black girl, the curls on your head make you the celestial being that your counterparts struggle to understand. So wear unapologetically, because there is nothing wrong with being proud of a crown that perfectly fits your head. Dear little black girl, preserve the dark skin that wraps around you like a blanket of twinkling stars, containing the goddess within. You are not your skin, but your skin is you. Dear little black girl, the bronze glow of your smile can open all the locked doors on this earth. No stereotype can define you without your permission. Thank you.
And our next poet is Francesca. She'll be reading 2 poems as well.
The romanticization of my parents. My mother did not sit and wait for my father. She did not lie soundly like a child against his lap as he smeared the hues in which he bled in her auburn curls. When he placed folded kisses against her breast, they developed ripe against the honey of her skin, yet she did not offer to twist her tongue in his mouth. What is it about you, my father would ask, and my mother would only offer dead eulogies as answers. I am Gia, and from me rivers run in the path of my iris. From me there is the song of life, and it don't belong to no man. My father, mad with frustration, tries again, and in the grips of his palms must this crush fruits as if they will solve the complexities of my mother's existence. But my mother has not learned to love my father off of paper, and instead caresses his knuckles, scared of the way her feelings will contort across his face if they are not doused in ink. She watches how the sun sets and cowers against the shadows beneath the palm trees of sweet nothings that he has to offer, because my mother is not interested in no man who thinks his lips will offer the unrelinquished fury in her. She is not interested in no boy whose gut bubbles with beer and breath smells of broken. My mother is Gia, the earth before life was ever open, and she is not ready to offer it to no man. To all my white girlfriends from your one black friend. Listen up, Becky. You and I are not the same. If I come in one day wearing my Fulani braids draping them off of my back, you are not allowed to come in the next wearing Bo Derek braids with beads of my culture barely clinging onto your poorly done braids. And you know that one line in that one song where the artist says the N-word? I'll say it in a tone you'll understand. You like literally cannot say that. But I'm sorry that this letter took so long to write. And I'm sorry that I bit my tongue until it bled, just to upheave your comfort and lessen mine. But you are so used to privilege, so used to stepping on the bones of my back, that the blood that seeps from my veins is just a stain on your shoe. And I'm sick of frying my hair, Becky. Sick of you being the whitewashed mirror that I'm forced to look at. Sick of wondering, is it me? Is it my skin? Is it my face? Is it my jeans? Why is it that I am an extra in your movie? Why is it that I am never the lead? Becky, what have I done to you? You have embodied hell on earth for me and made me into your own personal monkey. You set matches to my body and scorched each tendon. You have revived each demon that lies in the battlefield that is my mind, and taught me that the world is not the only thing that will hate me. And each time that I will look into the mirror, I will wish that there was in incognito mode for my soul. I would wish that the melanin could bounce off of me and evaporate. I would wish that my anger could condensate, but you piss me off. With the way your judgment wakes up my naps and naps in the cantu in my curls and runs freely in my weaves, you piss me off, Becky. And it's taken me so long to realize you are not my friend, you are not my competition, and I am tired of being afraid I can't outshine you. I am bigger than you, I am stronger than you, and you and I, Becky, are not the same. So with all love, this is the letter from your one black friend, Becky. Stop treating me as if my existence is a foreign concept. I am just as human as you, but I will no longer bleed just as easy.
Thank you so much. Show a round of applause for all of our high school poets here today. All did great. So at this time, we're going to present the Middle School Poetry Awards. So Mr. Brian Panarisi, will you come up and help me distribute these awards? Okay, so first up, awarded as Commended Poet. Oh, Nelfie isn't here today, so we'll hold aside. It goes back. Oh, yeah, it goes from there, yeah. Thank you very much. Okay. All right, so as awarded Commended Poet, Walter Antonio Aguirre Jimenez. Congratulations. So our next poet, awarded honorable mention, Edwin Sorto Rosales. And our next poet, awarded honorable mention, Tracy Pham. And next poet, awarded honorable mention, Aiden Pazo. Next poet, awarded third place, Nyla Ni T Nguyen. And awarded at second place, Lillian Odiari. And awarded first place, Ilias Beckmacrane. And then as a commended poet, there's Paula, Daniela, Romeo, Ezpinosa. Thank you so much. Okay, so congratulations to the middle school poets. Another round of applause. Okay, so we are now going to welcome Stephanie and Jim to present the High School Poetry Awards. So awarded as a commended poet, Brooke-lyn Skane. Oh. Okay, and awarded as commended poet, Cleucilayne Soares. Oh, sorry about that. You're not in order. There we go. And awarded for honorable mention, Trinity Montina. And awarded for honorable mention and third place, Francesca Mirthil. And then awarded second and first place, Fahitza Kesa. Also, congratulations to the high school poets. Another round of applause. I know we're clapping a lot today. So we are now at the end of our event. So thank you all for coming out to this special night to support the creative expression for these young poets.